So in today's world of perfumery, there's always some awesome fragrances coming out. And some of them cost a pretty penny, and you don't always have all of the funds to just buy something right when it comes out. Sometimes it's better to try before you buy. And in this video, I've got 10 fragrances that are absolute must-tries. Some of these we're going to be trying together for the first time. Stay tuned. So we're going to be going over some decants that I just got from Scents Angel. Those of you that are familiar with the channel know that that is my preferred company to use for decants. I've partnered with them before, and we're partnering together for another video. Obviously, nothing that they sent me is going to be biased, and what I think of the scents is what I think of the scents. But they do offer a variety of decants, and we're going to cover a few of those sizes and try some of those fragrances for the first time together. But I do have a few that I've tried already that we'll discuss. These first two are actually ones that I received from them last time, and I've yet to pull the trigger on a full bottle, and these are both full bottle worthy. I'm glad I tried them first. They were love at first sniff. Two of the more popular releases in the last year. First being Angel Share from Killy, and this is one of their 2 milliliter decants, and they do have a variety of sizes available. And I know exactly what this one smells like, but we'll spray it and talk about it because it is absolutely one of the best boozy fragrances to come out in quite a while. And it's always nice to have a good boozy sweet fragrance in your collection, and this one knocks it out the park. Oh man. And then for those of you that have seen the bottle's gorgeous. It looks like a glass of whiskey on the rocks, essentially. It looks like a whiskey glass, and then that ambery color of the juice. Oh man. Now look, at this point I've had a few small clone houses let me try their clone of Angel Share, and I gotta say, none of them can touch the original. Not just from a quality standpoint, because obviously Killian's using different oils, but they just can't hold a candle to the original. I just have to be honest. Look, this got a ton of hype since it came out, and it deserves every single bit of it from every person that said it's amazing, because it is. Absolutely is. I know Killian is pretty expensive. Everything they put out is expensive because it's top level luxury niche. Here's a good way to try it out and make sure it's full bottle worthy for you, but I'm pretty confident once you get this decant, you're going to end up wanting a bottle. Oh, it's such a very creamy sweetness, and the booziness isn't just too overpowering. It's got almost like a brandy type of sweetness to it. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I believe it's a cognac note that's in here, and the cognac note and the brandy note kind of give off a similar type of scent. Oh man, but that's why I wanted to start with this one, because in my opinion, this is an absolute must-try, and you can get your hands on a decant for a pretty good price. And that's Killian Angel Share. Next is another extremely popular recent release that is full bottle worthy for me, especially if you don't have the original. I'm talking about Pegasus Exclusive from Parfums de Marly. This is another 2 milliliter decant, and what's different about this versus the original Pegasus, that original Pegasus has kind of a cold type of chilling opening, where the milkiness and the creaminess from the almond, it just has a chilling type of effect. It's kind of a breezy kind of smell, as strange as that may sound. But with this one, they just refined it so much. They refined it a lot. It's darkened up, it's a little bit richer, and it loses that cold opening. I'm not saying it's a super warm opening, but it doesn't have that cold chilling effect that the original had. There's just a nice little touch of some supporting oud in here that really darkened it up, added a darker woody component to it, and just refined it. If you don't have Pegasus Exclusive is better. I will say, if you have Pegasus, there's gonna be some redundancy here if you want to get the exclusive version. But trust me, the exclusive version is full bottle worthy in my opinion. It is fantastic. And this is another one that I'm glad I tried before I bought. And as soon as I can find the right deal on a full bottle of Pegasus Exclusive, I'm probably going to go ahead and grab a bottle. because this decant, I mean, just to give you an idea, the sprays are dropping on it pretty quickly. So it's about 3 full wearings worth in this 2 ml based on the number of sprays I've been using, because it's very strong. It's a very, very strong fragrance. You're getting your money's worth. It performs, as a lot of you know, with Parfums de Marly. If you don't know, if you haven't tried anything from Parfums de Marly, the fragrances tend to be pretty powerful for the most part, and this one is nothing short of that. Another one that I urge you, try before you buy, just to make sure you like it. But in my opinion, just like with Angel Share, Pegasus Exclusive, yeah, it's full bottle worthy. Glad I tried it first. Now, in regards to the 8 that's in the box, I have not opened the box. I told him to surprise me. I love doing things blindly on these videos. Have the nice little card. There's always a link for Sense Angel down below towards the upper portion of my video descriptions. Because for the longest time I had people asking me where to get decants, and I ended up partnering with them a while back because I love their selection. Their prices are fair, and they have a lot of size options, and the guy that owns the place, very, very nice guy. So let's see what we have here. The packaging is very, very well. Also, we got a few different sizes, some 2 mLs and some 5 mLs. They do have up to a 9 ml, which I have Creed Tabarome, and a 9 ml, which is a 10 ml decant filled to 9 milliliters. So let's grab this first 5 ml. So Byredo Ball de Freak. So one I've been wanting to try for a long time. I mean, I know it's a very, very popular fragrance, but I've never smelled it before. I don't know the note breakdown. I don't know what type of scent profile it is. I may love it. I may hate it. I don't know. But you see that big old wide spray. I'm trying not to breathe through my nose just yet. There's a familiar note. There's a floral component to this. Hand decanted sample by SenseAngel.com. Love the details. It's all about the details. It's very fresh, a lot fresher than I was expecting. Because the only Byredo fragrance that I have is Oud Immortel, and that's, don't get me wrong, very fresh, but it's an oud fragrance. The Limoncello gives it that lemony opening, that freshness. Beautiful, beautiful oud fragrance, by the way. This has a strong freshness, but the paper's not really telling me a whole lot. It's not really coming across heavy. I have so many fragrances to spray, that's why I don't want to just fill my arms with different sprays, but I might just have to. Go ahead and roll my sleeves up. I think we're going to have to skip the paper because of fragrances like this where the paper is not telling me a lot here. So we're going to go ahead and toss that for now. Spray the top of my hand. One good spray, as you can see by this big sheen all over the top of my hand. The atomizer's put out very, very well. Yeah, definitely a very, very strong component of some type of flower. It's not really coming across as iris. It definitely does not smell like a rose. There's a nice fresh citrus here that smells kind of like some, I want to say that's a nice grapefruit note. It's not coming, I'm not getting any orange type of citrus. Oh, there might be a little bit. It's a citrus. It's almost like a citrus melody that I'm getting, where it's not really jumping out like it's got a little bit of grapefruity smell. Now I'm kind of getting a little bit of an orangey smell. It's kind of strange. I think it's because of how it's blended that nothing's really jumping out specifically. It's citrusy, it's fresh, and it's got a floral nature to it, a floral component that I just can't distinguish what it is because of the way it's so well blended. No real thick creaminess to it, so I'm not sure if there's any sandalwood because it's not coming across woody yet. It's a fresh spray. It's only been 1 minute on my hand, so a lot of top note in the beginning of the heart note still going on my hand. So this is a very hyped up fragrance, and to be honest with you, it's not wowing me, so I don't know why it gets the kind of praise it gets. And I say that because I see so many posts about it, but not saying it's bad. It's just not blowing me away either. So Glad to get a decant of it. This way I don't blind buy a bottle. So, because it's not wowing me. It's okay. It smells good. It's just not flooring me. So, Byredo. Bald de Freak. Next, this is one I've wanted to try for a long time. So, Mason Preston's Kirchen. Oud Satin Mood. The Eau de Parfum. Not the extrait. That beautiful dark colored juice. So, we'll spray that on the other hand. I have heard this is a phenomenal fragrance. I have smelled a clone of it. I'm trying not to breathe through my nose. I have never smelled the original. I have a feeling this may make me want a bottle. We shall see. Oh wow, yeah. That's really, really good. It's like a silky smooth kind of oud. As weird as that sounds, or may sound. Very, very smooth, medicinal, but not overly medicinal. It doesn't come across like how Montal Oud Tobacco, I've said recently, has the Flintstone vitamins kind of smell to it. That's very medicinal. Smells good, but very medicinal. Where this is coming off medicinal, but I feel like there's a supporting rose back there. Yeah, there's definitely a supporting rose here that's not punching me in the nose. So some oud rose combinations are a little much. This one's not. This one's very, very smooth. It smells extremely powerful too. This stuff is just all up in my face coming off of my hand. It's almost like there's a spice, but I can't tell what type of spice. Yeah, there's definitely an undertone of spice there. I don't know specifically what. It's almost coming across like a cinnamon, but it's not jumping out at me to where I'm confident in saying that there's cinnamon in here. But it's almost coming across that way. That's kind of what's going on up here when I smell it. Oh man, it's just smooth from the very first few seconds of it being sprayed. As it's starting to settle, it's just getting smoother and smoother. There's a very light fruit in here that's the kind of sweetness I'm getting. It's like a fruity sweetness, but outside of the oud and the rose, nothing's jumping to take the lead. They're all kind of running a race together, the little bit that I'm able to distinguish from the blend. Yeah, that sweetness is kind of taking a turn, like it's nuancing. Right now, live as I'm sniffing this, it's changing. Not rapidly, but steadily. It steadily has subtle nuances changing, just coming at me one after another. I'll pick this up and it'll fade, and I'll pick this up and it'll fade. Because that little bit of spice that I was thinking might be cinnamon is fading. It's fleeting. It's fleeting. It's not staying for much. Very smooth, man. Look. MFK fragrances are super expensive, and I always urge everybody to sample. Scent Angel's got you covered. Definitely try before you buy. It's super silky smooth though. Oud Satin Mood, MFK. Next we're going to go with Amouage Interlude 53 Extrait. Never tried this one. I've tried Black Iris, and believe it or not, I actually wasn't a fan of Interlude Black Iris. It's okay, but it's definitely not. I'm glad I got a decant from Scent Angel from it, and I don't want a full bottle because of it. So, one good spray puts out plenty. I don't know if you'll be able to see the reflection with the lighting. Very distinguished herbaceous spice. That's what I'm getting up top. Herbal spice. I'm getting a lot of it punching me up top. It's kind of hitting me in the face. It's not overpowering, but it's what's up front. That's the first thing I smell. That's the first thing I think. There isn't much of a freshness here at all. This is a relatively dense fragrance. I mean, it is an extrait. It's a high oil concentration. But extremely well blended. This is another one that's very, very well blended. A lot of woods and a strong herbaceous component here, and I can't like it's kind of disappointing for me that I'm not able to distinguish a lot of specific notes with the few that I've tried so far. Outside of Pegasus Exclusive, because I've spent a lot of time with that one, obviously. But as far as his first impression, because I don't have the original Interlude Man, the only one I've tried is the Black Iris. Okay, I'm picking up a little bit of citrus now. I had to really look for it. It's faint. It wasn't really out there. Like, this is probably the most well blended fragrance of everything I've tried so far. This is the 5th one I've tried in this video. And it's pretty difficult to distinguish what's what. It's almost got like a mossy green herbaceous quality to it. A pretty strong aromatic nature, but not extremely airy for as aromatic as it's coming across. And just a very light citrus here. Definitely try before you buy. This is one of the pricier options. I don't remember looking at the price on this one, but I know this is a very expensive bottle. So I'm sure the decants are quite expensive. But this is pretty sought after and not the easiest fragrance to get. And definitely one you want to try before you buy. That's Amouage Interlude 53, the Extrait. Alright, so another one I've never tried before. Initio Mystic Experience. I have no clue what this smells like. Couldn't even begin to tell you what the notes are on it. I've never looked into it. One good spray. We'll give that a few seconds. So there's a lot of aromas circling around me right now because I'm just spraying all over my skin. So we'll give it another second. Ooh, I like this. It's light, it's airy. This is different. This is different. I like this. There's a sweetness that's not real strong, but very detectable. It's not at the forefront. This floral nature that I think is jasmine. It's coming across like a jasmine smell. Is what's at the front. It's very fresh. Very fresh with that sweetness kind of supporting it and holding it back from being too fresh. But it's definitely airy. It's light. It's light. It wears light would be the best way for me to put it. There's a nice woodiness coming out. That's kind of giving it some backbone. Yeah, I'm digging this one too. Definitely another one to try before you buy. It's one I've never looked into before. Initio Mystic Experience. Another 5 ml. Parfums de Marly. Habdan. I've never looked at the note breakdown on this one. I'm confident it's a darker scent. So we're about to see. We're going to spray the top of this wrist this time. So one good spray should be plenty. As you saw, that big old spray. Give it a second. It's got almost a sharp nature to it. Definitely aromatic. And kind of an old schoolish vibe. And there's a sweet note in here that's in the back. Like it's wanting to come to the forefront. The longer I sniff, steadily, lightly sniff this area, the more that sweet note can, and it's almost coming across like a honey. As weird as that may sound. Like I said, I have no clue. No clue what the note breakdown is on Habdan. Just telling you guys what I smell. Almost like a that pepperwood type of smell. That's what I'm sitting here trying to think about what it is. Like a pepperwood is what it's coming across to me as, because that's very distinct, because I have a few fragrances that feature it, and I have one specific fragrance that features it heavily, which is Homme from Interlude d'Orange, and that very distinct. That's where I really got to learn this note, and I like it, but I don't love it. But when it's done right with the right blend, it works, and it's working here. I want to say, I could be completely wrong, but it's got a pepperwood type of smell to it, with just a little honey and a honey type of sweetness. It's got a little bit of a mossy smell. It's a little aromatic. It's not wearing as heavy as I thought it would. I assumed this would be a heavy fragrance. And it's actually got an airy quality to it. It's wearing a lot lighter than I expected it to, because I know this is one of those black bottles from Parfums de Marly. Yeah, I'm actually really digging this. This is officially on my radar now. I'm going to give this some wearings and wear down the decant first to make sure I want to grab a full bottle, but I'm really digging this. Yeah. I'm done. Smells great. Parfums de Marly. Next we've got Killy Straight to Heaven. Never tried this one before either. So we're going to go right there on the forearm, give it one good spray. Has a pretty strong sweetness. Give it one more good spray. I want this to really come off my skin. Okay, a little half spray, add to it. It's running down my arm now. Yeah, there's like a light tobacco here. There's a sweetness. Like it, don't love it. I don't feel like it's a must for me. Yeah. I know there's a lot of fans of this, but not really my thing. Don't hate it, just don't love it. Yeah, there's a little tobacco-ness to it, but there's a note that's kind of strange, and I don't know exactly what it is. Could be my skin chemistry. Not sure. Yeah, just not really that big of a fan. I'm going to move on, actually. Killy Straight to Heaven. Glad I tried it first. Mancera Oud Black Candy. So never had this one on my radar before. So let's spray this one on this forearm. Big spray. We'll give it a second. Black Candy, I would assume that it's going to be very sweet, candied sweet, and probably have a little bit of oud, because most Manceras do. Smells nothing like I expected it to. Nothing like I expected it to. It's almost got like a licorice kind of smell to it. Not what I was expecting. That is technically a black candy. Licorice. Kind of makes sense now that I give it a second and think about it. Yeah, I'm convinced there's got to be some licorice in here. It's got a licorice smell. That's all I can think while I'm sniffing this. And it's kind of addictive. I'm kind of digging it. Because it's so different. I don't have anything else that smells like a oud black candy from Mancera. There's a little pepperiness to it up top, but it's got a strong licorice smell. That's how it's coming across to me. Definitely a try before you buy. 100% try this one before you buy it, because if you don't like that type of smell, you'll hate this fragrance. Yeah, not too shabby. I can't think of anything else to say about it other than it smells like I sprayed myself down with licorice. So if that sounds enticing to you, check it out. But I strongly suggest trying this one before you buy it, because I could see people hating this one and I can see people loving this one. This is a polarizing fragrance. Yeah, I'm sticking with my answer. This is licorice in a bottle. Last, Electimus Black Caviar. So I have seen a lot of stuff about the brand. I've never tried anything from them. So I'm quite interested to try this. We're going to go right here on top of the forearm. I've got fragrances every freaking where on my arms, so I'm running out of skin. We'll give that a second. The bottles look really cool for Electimus. It's astringent. I'm thinking that might be alcohol, so I'm going to give it a second, because that stung my nostrils a little bit. Could just be an astringent scent. I don't know. Yeah, it's got a strong astringent quality to it. So it's got a stingy nature. It'll sting the nostrils. It's not one that you want to dive in right on top of the skin and sniff real hard. You got to be gentle with this one. The name's fitting. I would think this kind of would be what caviar would smell like. I've never tried caviar, never had the intention or have the intention to try it, but there's a salty, bitter quality to it, almost like a seaweed. It's aromatic, it's astringent, it's a little salty, bitter. And very green. Very green. And I say these things not in a negative manner. Not shedding negative light on it at all. It's different. It's actually striking me as a bit of a classier fragrance, actually. Not because it's called Black Caviar, but it smells like something that would be good for black tie. Whereas it's not daring, but it's different. Black tie, I mean, for me, I would want to go more daring than normal. And this one has a class and elegance while maintaining stepping outside the box for your average fragrance. I can't think of another fragrance that smells like this. I really like this. I really like this. The uniqueness of it is what's really intriguing to me. The astringent quality has faded, so it may have been some alcohol content that was doing that, but the opening was very astringent for me. And as it's settling in more, that bitterness is smoothing out, but it's still a slightly bitter smell. Yeah, definitely try this one before you buy it. This is another one that's going to be polarizing that I think a lot of people will be able to appreciate, but some people it just won't be for them. It's just what it is. Definitely try before you buy with Black Caviar from Electimus. Well, guys, that's the video. We tried a bunch of fragrances from Sense Angel. I'd like to thank Sense Angel for sending these out to me to try. There's definitely a few of these that I tried that it's like, whew, glad I didn't blind buy that. And there's a few that, once I get through this decant, probably going to need a bottle, like Black Caviar from Electimus. I'm really digging that. What's another one I feel is going to need? Homme, Parfums de Marly. That's going to need to end up being in my possession. Oud Satin Mood EDP, Mason Francis Kirkjohn. I'm going to need a bottle of that at some point. But I got to go through these decants first. Pegasus Exclusive, that decant's almost out, so that'll probably be first in line for me to get a bottle. Even though I have Pegasus, the collector and enthusiast in me likes the differences and the nuances that are different from one to the other. So definitely try Sense Angel if you're looking to try some of these more popular fragrances. He's always adding stuff to the inventory. I actually featured Sense Angel on my recent online discounters video that I did, but there's a link down below if you want to check out Sense Angel and grab anywhere from a 1 ml to a 9 ml or even a full bottle so you can try some of these fragrances. He's got a pretty stout option list. And there's some designers as well. It's not just luxury niche, but this is what I would suggest trying before you buy most, is the luxury niche, because these fragrances can get very expensive. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have used Sense Angel before? I've been partnering with them for a while. I have I've had a link in my videos for a few months now, and I really like what they have to offer. I like their service, I like their prices, and I like the different size options. That definitely works to a lot of people's favor. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances discussed in this video and you give them a spray now, you may or may not thank me later. I'm not sure. Depends on how you feel about them, but I definitely gave you my feelings. Have a good one, guys.